Hi there, folks. This is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming coming to you today with the second game in our Lapras Waterbox series. So let's go ahead and immediately dive on into the queue here and see what we get paired up against. We did manage to take a first game win over Zoroark Lycanroc after a little bit of a misplay on our opponent's side of things, and hopefully we'll be able to continue the win streak from here. So it looks like we've gotten paired up against what appears to be a dragon and fairy and psychic deck. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a variant of the the Malamar Ultra Necrozma deck with some likely fairy splash, or if this is a Gardevoir deck of some sort as well. So it does look like we've started with a Lapras, but no other Pokemon to use the Aqua Patch or Max Elixirs on. But at the very least, we do have an energy to be able to do a collect on our first attack there to draw ourselves some cards overall. Our opponent is starting with an Inkay, so it is likely going to be Malamar Ultra Necrozma variant then, with the Dragon type present in the deck. We do have them discarding a Malamar and a Psychic to go for an Ultra Ball on their first turn. I'm expecting them to go for a Lele Bridget here potentially for setup, but we'll see what they go for. They're possibly checking their prizes, which could lead to some of the additional significant time here in just them searching through their deck. But we'll see what they come up with overall. They could also have realized that one of the cards that they're going for right now with the Ultra Ball is prized, which then could make them try to think through exactly what they want to fetch on up instead. So they do still seem to be taking some significant time here, likely going to the timeout portion, like we are apt to do ourselves sometimes as well when we're trying to determine our prizes. But we'll see if they come back with any sort of response here soon. Now, with this deck, we're going to be trying to suit up for a one-shot. With Ultra Necrozma, they are 190 HP Pokemon, so a Blizzard Burn plus Choice Band will give us a potential KO. So this is actually great for us here now, because we can Ultra Ball, discarding an Energy and the Guzma, and we're going to go for another Lapras here. So let's fetch another Lapras, but we'll see what's prized. And it looks like we've got an Octillery prized. We have one of our Aqua Patches in hand. We have two of our Max Elixirs in hand. One of our Ultra Balls appears to be prized. We did discard a Guzma. A Sycamore is prized. We have one energy in the bin from the discard, one in hand, so it looks like 3 energy are prized. So that's not great because it does put down our likelihood on Max Elixir hits here. But let's go ahead and go Lapras. We're going to Max Elixir and miss. Then we're going to Max Elixir again. This time we did get a hit. We're going to Aqua Patch, putting a energy onto our benched Lapras, putting an energy onto our active Lapras, and we're going to go for a collect. So this is at the very least going to draw us a few cards here, put us a bit deeper. The N is actually a pretty good draw here as well, in addition to the Choice Band. I think we're going to end up putting the Choice Band onto our Full Art Lapras on the bench, as that's the one closer to being fully suited up, and then we're likely going to N. Now, I don't know if we want to N overly hard here with our opponent being a little bit card stuck. They did do the Ultra Ball and missed on their first turn. They're not doing anything actively on their second turn here at the moment. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they concede, given the fact that we are going to be able to start taking this game away pretty soon. And that's really what's pushing me against using the N on our turn. The best possible draw that we could get off the top here would likely be a Cynthia. So let's see what they come back with. But an energy switch is actually good here as well. We're just going to attach our Choice Band. We're not going to N. We're going to collect and go for 3 more cards here. We're going to see significantly more cards over our opponents here. So I think we're still fine with not ending, keeping them stuck as long as possible, just to try and guarantee ourselves the win here. We aren't seeing exactly what they are as a Malamar variant here, but given the Dragon type, that really does push us towards the Ultra Necrozma. But I'm kind of curious as to what the Fairy is going to be here. Could it be a something along the lines of a metronome Clefairy, but it does look like we did get ourselves an immediate win there. So they did get significantly stuck. So we'll actually go ahead and we'll push this into a second game here. Just where we want to try and give you a little bit more content than a 5-minute video over our opponent getting a little bit card stuck there. But it did get us an opportunity there at least to show that sometimes even if we do get card stuck, the collectability on the Lapras will help us get out of some of the shitty situations. So we are going ahead and hop into another game here, and it looks like we're against Zoropod, based on the dark and grass types there. And this is potentially our worst matchup here. Where they are going to have weakness on our Lapras, they're going to be able to do a 1 energy KO attack on us if they do have the setup for it. And it looks like we did get a Lapras here again, but we do actually have the capability of double Aqua Patching on our first turn in addition to an N. So we might actually have a decent setup here. I don't know if it's going to be fast enough for us to really suppress their Wimpods as much as possible, but we'll see how it's going to start off here. Now, they do have the second turn. We have the Latios here. The Latios is actually a bit of a surprise. So let's attach an energy here. We're going to Ultra Ball, discarding energy. We're going to go for a second Lapras. We're going to double Aqua Patch onto that Lapras for the very aggressive setup here. And then we're going to end to give ourselves a full fresh 6 cards here. So essentially we're going through 13 cards on our first turn. We did get the Brooklet Hill here. We have the Manaphy in hand. So we can now go Brooklet Hill. We're going to Brooklet Hill up a Remoraid here. We're going to throw down the Manaphy, throw down the Choice Band on the Lapras, and we don't exactly want to retreat here just yet, but we do have the free retreat now on our opponent's turn as necessary. So let's see what they go with here. So they do have the Lele now, so I don't know if the N helped them there or not. We don't know what the context of their hand was beforehand there, pardon the pun. So we're going to see a Lele here, likely for a Bridget, going for a Zoroark Wimpod, or potentially 2 Wimpods if he just wants to make sure that he has the consistency of fighting through a potential KO. On our side, we're going to be, on our turn, evolving Remoraid into Octillery, possibly using the Brooklet Hill to go for a... Oh, we're actually against Decidueye. That actually makes this a bit easier for us. Alright, so we're going to Choice Band here, Octillery. We're going to attach an energy. We're going to Brooklet Hill for the Volcanion Prism. We're going to use the Volcanion Prism, Jet Geyser ability, to force up any one of their basics here, because we'll be able to take a knockout on any one of them, which we're 100% fine with, because we'll be able to free retreat our Lapras, and we still do get to draw 5 off of our Abyssal Hand on the Octillery here as well. So let's see what they do put up here. They did go with the Zoroark, so let's go ahead and Abyssal Hand here now. Draw ourselves 5 fresh cards. We did get a Max Elixir, which we'll use to actually start fueling up the Volcanion a bit here. We'll toss a Choice Band down on the Volcanion here as well. Let's see. I think we still want to retreat into our Lapras here, and we're going to Blizzard Burn for KO. We do have the Guzma capability on our side the next turn. We're going to take an immediate prize lead here, so we'll see what they promote. So he does go with the other Zoroark here. I don't think he wants to put up the Latios just yet. He's probably going to try to evolve into a Zoroark. So Zoroark with a Riotous Beating and a Choice Band is 150. We already do have 30 damage here, so if he does have 1 Feather Arrow to go for here, it could be a KO. Now, Given the low amount of cards that he has in hand with just one, I'm assuming that it's likely a draw supporter of some type to put him up cards in hand here. Yeah, it's a Sycamore just going for a straight raw card advantage. So what we're hoping to not see is going to be a Choice Band, a DCE, because that's going to take out our Lapras. Now, if he does get another Rare Candy and Decidueye, that's also going to be taking a KO on us, which is going to be a sad time to say the least. But we don't see it here entirely just yet. So I think on our turn, we're going to want to take out that Dartrix there. He is going to be floating out the Latios here, getting a bit more spread damage, because the Decidueye's Feather Arrow is really going to start weakening up our attacks here. But I think we might want to actually force the Decidueye up into the active. Where it does have a double retreat, it's going to force him to use a DCE to get it out of the way here. So let's go Max Elixir. We do hit with the Max Elixir here. Let's go for an Energy Attach. Let's see if the Jet Geyser forces him to put something up incorrectly here. He does put up a Rowlet, so what we're going to do is go for the Guzma onto the Decidueye to force that up into the active. We're going to throw down our Remoraid here and go for another Octillery Abyssal Hand for 5. So we are drawing through our deck with some great consistency here. We're going to Sonoblast because this is going to be a 2-shot on the Decidueye over time if he can't get it out of the active. And it's going to put some spread damage onto his bench here as well. So we are forcing the attacks here. We do have the ability now on our next turn to Guzma to take out that Zoroark there as well, which is going to be a bad time for him, but I think we might want to continue with the Volcanion Prism if our opponent's not able to get his Decidueye out of the active. And hopefully kind of take control a little bit that way, soften up our opponent's bench as much as possible. The second Decidueye here is not a fun time for us, so I think we need to go for a KO on it soon. On our turn, I think we might retreat, or we might Guzma up the Zoroark, because if our opponent doesn't have any kind of strong attack, we're going to be able to take out the one-shots pretty easy here. So let's see, we've got one Guzma in bin, we still have 2 Guzmas in deck. He is going for the softening up here. He's going to take out some Choice Bands, I would assume here. Yes, the Choice Bands off the Lapras. So that means that we're not going to be able to one-shot the Zoroark. He is going to put the Decidueye back in hand to put up his Latios here. And the Latios we're actually going to be able to one-shot. So let's see, we do get our second Octillery here. Now, the question is, do we take out the Latios as being one of the ways that he's getting damage on his bench or on his board here right now? I think we actually go Lapras, Energy, we Cynthia. Let's see, we do, I believe, have Energy in bin, so we can go Aqua Patch, putting an Energy onto the Lapras here. We have a Max Elixir in hand. I think we Sonoblast here is the approach that we're going to take, because we don't need to go any deeper. We have 19 cards left in deck, so let's go ahead for the Sonoblast here, because that's going to take the KO on the Latios, put additional damage on our opponent's Pokemon here, and they are a little bit card stuck. So let's see, he's gone ahead and he's promoted the Zoroark here. We're still shy of a straight KO. He did top deck a Cynthia though, so that's going to be good for him being able to suit up as much as possible here. He's probably going to go for a KO on our Volcanion, if I do imagine anything here. If he can get a couple more of his Decidueyes in play. I do know that he has one Decidueye in hand, which he's getting here now. If he doesn't have the DCE, he's not quite going for a KO yet. And we do have a Dartrix getting suited up here. So, the thing to consider here now is what we want to do damage-wise. And he's putting the damage onto the Lapras here instead. He's likely trying to go for the damage KOs on these individually. We do have a KO coming here now. He has navigated this game extremely well on his side. So let's see. We promote a Lapras here. It doesn't take a KO. We still have the free retreat. So let's promote the least damaged Lapras. We can throw down another Lapras here. We can Max Elixir. Max Elixir whiffs. Let's see. Energy and bin, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 3 of our energy are prized. So we don't actually have any energy left in our deck. We've used 3 of our Aqua Patches. So we're actually in a pretty grim situation here right now. I think what we want to do is we Ultra Ball to see what's left in our deck, discarding Ultra Ball and N. We have Lele's left in deck, 2 energy, 1 Aqua Patch, both energy switches. I think we'll end up GXing on our turn, which does allow us to go for the KO. But I do think we want to Sycamore here. I don't think we want to Octillery. We want to just get the dive here. So we did get Aqua Patch, which we are going to do. We can attach an energy for turn, and then we can actually energy switch to move an energy card to this other Lapras. We can free retreat into the undamaged Lapras. We can Abyssal Hand for 1. We're down to 10 cards. That's our second energy there. And then we can Ice Beam here. So we paralyze our opponent's Pokemon. It forces him now to have an Acerola. He can't quite KO with the Decidueyes just yet. He doesn't really have attack capability on the Decidueyes either. Puzzle of Time here. Out of 4 cards in hand, he apparently has double Puzzle of Time to be able to actually get back the Acerola to save his Zoroark here. Meaning that we are going to be kind of boned. Yeah, he went for the Latios and the Acerola. He is playing this game extremely well. I don't think we can even really complain about this. He's been navigating this extremely well. He's had the exact cards he's needed as well. Having double puzzle with 3 cards in hand, with no hand sculpting in any way, is definitely impressive. So let's see. He goes now and he puts 60 on our active Lapras. Or is he actually just going for a KO on the bench Lapras here? Probably a KO on the bench Lapras. That's not good for us, because we are going to be distinctly far behind here now with this KO. We are running out of energy extremely fast. Our opponent's getting ahead extremely fast. I think what we might want to do is... Let's see. We've got the Guzma. Let's see, what can we Brooklet Hill for is nothing. Left in deck, we've got 2 Guzmas, which could help us tear our opponents apart a bit. I think what we want to do here is we Guzma up the Zorua, and we Blizzard Burn it. Because it means that he doesn't get a KO on our other Lapras just yet. He doesn't get the Zoroark draw capability then. Yeah, so let's go for the Guzma up the Zorua. Promote and then free retreat. We're not going to attach the energy from hand just yet. We're going to go now for a Blizzard Burn KO. It's a single prize KO, which isn't great for us, but it does give us hope. Max Elixir is effectively useless right now. Our opponent has put up a Lele, so what we want to do here now, we have 2 Guzmas left in our deck. Our deck is 9 cards. We have the ability to Lele for a Guzma. Let's see, he's going Ultra Ball here. What is he going for, I wonder? A Zorua, and I think we want to try and Guzma kill the Zorua now on the next turn as well. We don't want him to get a Zoroark. The Zoroark's going to give him the ability to win this game. Lele is a bad time for us. So let's see. Cynthia messes up our day here as well. Lele is going to be hitting for 100. This is actually going to be KO on our active Lapras. Because he can just Decidueye to put 60 onto our active Lapras. Lele is going to hit for 100 and KO it. Now we can KO the Lele back. But then he's going to be able to KO the Lapras on our turn. And I think we're going to be a little boned here. I guess we should have tried to force up a Decidueye so he wouldn't be able to retreat, but he could have attached the DCI or DCE and retreated there anyways. So we're going to promote our active Lapras here. Our opponent just needs to take one prize card, which is a bad time for us. Let's go ahead and we're going to attach an energy here. We're going to max elixir, because why not? Our opponent being a little cocky there, of course. We meet all types of people online. Let's see what's left in our deck that could possibly get us out of this situation. Really nothing. Because we need to basically be able to take out the Latios at the same time. Let's see. We're going to Field Blower here. It's in our hand. Not 8 cards left in deck. We'll throw down a Brooklet Hill. We'll go for an Abyssal Hand to draw 2. We've gotten a Cynthia there. That's still not helping us. Because our opponent's going to have Xaxes on our Lapras now next turn no matter what. So while we can take the KO here, we're not going to be able to win the match. I think what we can do here is just go for a Cynthia, because why not? We'll use the Draw Supporter. We've got double Lele, Ultra Ball, and I think we go now for Blizzard Burn for KO. We are going to get KO'd now in response. He's going to be able to take us out with just one prize remaining, which is sad for us, but there's not much that we can really do there. He played this game extremely well. He was going for Xaxes damage. He knew exactly what he needed, and he's got the Zoroark DCE here likely now as well. Hopefully he doesn't slow roll us. He just goes for the Ride of Speeding, which he does. So that's going to be a loss for us. So we're now sitting at 2-1 with the deck. We tried to navigate that as best as we could given the cards that we had, but we just weren't able to get there. I still think the deck is great. Decidueye is not exactly something that you're expecting to play against for the most part, and the specifics of having a double puzzle of time with only, I think it was 3 or 4 cards in hand after him doing a Acerola the previous turn. That's kind of amazing to me. You had to get very lucky for that. Very, very lucky for that. And if he hadn't had the Acerola, we had that game. Him getting the Acerola to get that out of the active, get the Zoroark out of the active, we would have had that game because he only would have been able to apply 60 damage at a time, which would have been 4 turns to kill a Lapras from full health. We would have been able to Guzma up his Decidueyes and just 2-shot them over time between the multiple Laprases that we had, and we would have been able to win that game. Overall, I still have been enjoying the deck. We'll be coming back to you with a couple game videos there yet, so stay tuned for those. We do also always appreciate your viewership here, and with 8 Badge Gaming, this is Adam signing off.